Hi everyone. I'm actually doing another video blog today, and I wanted to do something that I know a lot of girls are wondering about, because I know I wondered about it too, and that's how to take care of curly hair. I'm probably going to do a two-part video to this, because I want to not only touch into the hair care of it, but I also want to touch into the styling and also trimming, because it is very, very difficult to find a stylist or someone who is well versed and familiar with the texture and the curl to let them cut your hair. And a lot of times when you go to a beauty salon, the first thing they do is wash your hair, so your hair is completely straight when it's wet, and they cut it. Well, as a lot of you may know, when your hair finally dries up, it's just going crazy. So there is a special way to cut your hair. Don't despair. If you've never knew or gotten direction on how to take care of curly hair, I'm going to help you do it. Okay. First thing I want to go through is there's different types of curly hair. Okay, there's different classification systems for it. And one place I will recommend, and if you look to your right, I'll have it in the information button, which is naturallycurly.com. It's a really great website, and when I started going back to natural, that's what I did. Is I went to that website, I read a lot, I looked at the pictures, I got involved with the forums and everything, so I learned a lot about how to take care of curly hair, and just in general, just debunking a lot of the myths. Okay, I spent a large part of my life straightening my hair, blowing it out, leaving it in ponytails. I never really learned how to take care of curly hair. And I don't want to blame anyone, but my mom didn't necessarily know how to take care of curly hair, so it kind of rolled over to me, and now I'm, well versed because I read a lot of books on it. Okay, if you're really serious about it, pick up the book, and I'll put a link to the right for it, and it's a book called Curly Girl, and it's by Lorraine Massey, and she totally revolutionized curly hair as we know it. I mean, totally. There's just a whole different procedure to taking care of curly hair. It's very, very, very different from straight hair or even slightly wavy. You have to care for it differently. Okay? The number one rule for curly hair, and always keep this in your head, is moisture. Moisture is the most important thing for curly hair. Number one, your hair is curling, okay? So that's already a stress on your hair that is making all of those bends from root to tip, okay? What you need to do is kind of make it a little bit less stressful by moisturizing it. And what you could do is, what I do is after I wash my hair, I probably won't wash it for another few days, maybe twice a week, the most I wash my hair. And that's because it does get dry and brittle at the ends, and it breaks off, and then you'll have splits going all the way up. If you color treat your hair, you should really, really think about just eliminating shampoo for a little while. And I'll go into that later. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes shampoo can really damage your hair, strips your hair starts breaking off, and all kinds of bad stuff. So after you wash your hair and you want to style it, say the next day, you've already worn your hairdo and your hair is kind of messy and it's knotty and stuff, what I do is I just take simple water in a spray bottle like this, and I just kind of spray it around my hair, and I do it a little bit while it's upside down, and I just gently kind of scrunch it up. I don't get it to the point where it's soaking wet, because if you do that, my hair anyway, it tends to come out with many different sizes of curls, and I don't really like that. I want my curls to be more uniform. So what I do is I spray lightly, I scrunch, spray lightly, scrunch, spray lightly, scrunch, and keep going, instead of spraying a bunch of water and then scrunching. What I also do is I add a little bit of Hot Six oil. You can get this in the black hair care section, or you can get it at the beauty supply store. Really something I recommend for girls who have coarser curly hair like I do. I come from a multiracial background, and my hair tends to get really, really dry. This here is multi-purpose. You can use it as a hot oil, you can use it as a scalp oil, you can use it as a body oil, you can use it to remove makeup, anything. This is a really good oil. It smells really good. It's all natural, and it has, real quick, olive oil, canola oil, wheat germ oil, sweet almond oil, safflower oil, castor oil, sesame oil, vitamins E, A, and D, cyclomethicone, sheep sorrel, yarrow, slippery elm bark, sage, henna, comfrey, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of herbs in here. So it's infused, and it's got a lot of different oils. The one thing that does make me leery about it is the cyclomethicone. Anything that ends in cone is part of the silicone family. And the problem with that is when you tend to put a lot of silicone products in your hair, it looks great, it's shiny, but you have to shampoo it out, otherwise it won't rinse out of your hair. And that'll come into play either at the end of this video or the next one, because with curly hair you should really think about adopting a no shampoo lifestyle, or at least just diminish it. What I like to do is I'll wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner once a week. A few days later, when I have to do like a re-rinse or something, I'll rinse it out and I'll take conditioner, put it on the ends, work it through till I get to the roots, and just kind of massage my scalp. And I rinse really well. A lot of people might think, oh, you know, your hair gets dirty. It doesn't. Curly hair, coarse textures, drinks up any kind of sebum that comes off the scalp, so your hair never gets greasy. And if it does, then it's something that you have to take in consideration and just modify, which cut down the shampoo, water it down, use more conditioner, use conditioner before you shampoo. So those are all different techniques you can use for taking care of your hair. Now, that's as far as what I do. I really don't have too much of a deep conditioning routine, except maybe once a month. And I say once a month because it's a pretty strong thing. I massage my scalp for about 20 minutes with mustard oil. This is mustard oil right here. This isn't a particular brand. I got it from the Indian store, which I love going to the Indian store because you can get all kinds of incense, and I love their biscuits and fresh vegetables, foods, everything is just so fresh. And I love Indian food. That's my #1 favorite food. So I found this there, and I remember reading about it in this Indian Beauty Secrets book that I have. And it said that mustard oil actually increases the growth because it's a warm oil. It is a little warm. When you massage it in, it stimulates the blood vessels to circulate a lot more. So the scalp is very, very vascular, which means there's a lot of little capillaries and small veins that run through it, which is why when you cut your scalp, you bleed a lot. It's not that you're losing necessarily a lot of blood, it's just the scalp is very vascular. So you want to take that into consideration when trying to grow your hair. Okay. What I do to keep the curl in after I wash my hair, and it's wet, I let it dry a little bit, or I scrunch it with a towel. And I use this, and it's Pantene Curl Defining Scrunching Gel, Pro V. Okay? It's really good. It's about $4. I take a little bit in my hand after I section my hair, and I'll go through that in my tutorial. And I just scrunch it. I comb it through with the gel, and I scrunch it. And I do it section by section. And then what I do is I leave it alone. I leave it alone until it dries, and I don't use blow dryers anymore because I color treated my hair. I was a redhead, like blaring redhead for a long time, so that took a lot of stress on my hair, and I used to straighten my hair a lot. So what I did was I cut out heat products like blow dryers and straightening irons. I really don't use those ever. If anything, I would use some rollers, like after I, let my hair air dry. I won't put product in, and I'll brush it through, and it'll be real big and puffy, but then I'll put the rollers in, and I'll leave it in a little extra. And if I want to, give it a little extra oomph, I put some, citrus shine or, a serum that is like a shine serum. That way it'll make it shinier. Then you can put a diffuser on your blow dryer, and it's not as bad as directly applying heat to your hair and just kind of set in that curl. So that's what I do for something a little different. And it won't come out completely straight, but it'll come out like that bouncy California girl look, and I love it. But most of the time I wear my hair curled.
The big dog trying to get a little kitty to perk. X-Man looking at me like I'm Lucifer, 'cause he knows I would deal with the case.